an all-new platform, all-new powertrains, and an all-new body style. Yes, Tata Motors is taking an all-new direction towards looking at cars. But has it been successful? Well, some things have changed, some things have remained similar. But let's get into the review to find out more about both the petrol and the diesel model. The Coupe SUV body style has worked in Tata's favor and has managed to grab the attention of the people. No doubt there. And the design on these ICE versions is on similar lines as the EV. But there are a few differences. The front bumper, the grille design. Yeah, that's it. I've spoken enough about the design of this one. 2 videos already covering each aspect in great detail, and the links are in the description. But this time around, the focus is more on 2 engines, new ones, the diesel, or as Tata Motors calls it, the Kryojet, and the petrol, also known as Hyperion. But does it do justice to that name, Hyperion? Well, in city and eco mode, it does not. There is a lack of power coming in, and it's anyway tuned for fuel efficiency, so clearly that does not work. But in sport mode, yes, it does do justice. And you know what, even though the torque kicks in as low as 1750 rpm, it stays on till about 3000 rpm, so 225 newton meters of it, and then there is the boost that comes in. Now, as far as power is concerned, there's 123 brake horsepower on offer, and yes, this one has a strong mid-range, which makes it better, because even if you kind of change gears at around 3500 rpm or even below that, there is always power at your disposal, which is great. Now, it's great to see Tata Motors also make this Hyperion set of engines in-house. This is the first time that no consultation has been done from the exterior. So that's something that shows off the company's R&D prowess. But having this turbocharged petrol engine, it comes at a price. It is not available in the base variant. It is only available from the Creative S variant, which costs, wait a minute, 14 lakh rupees onwards. So yes, you have to pay a price for this engine, for this specific engine. Are you willing to do that? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, Tata Motors has said it has worked extensively on the NVH of the car. And in fact, it also says that the petrol engine is hyper quiet. The ride continues to be sophisticated. We saw that even in the Curvv, we witnessed it there, and I couldn't help myself but say that it was one of the best that Tata had brought in, and it continues with the ICE versions as well. It just freezes any rough patches on the road, and kudos to the engineering team there for getting it right, because even small undulations on the road are taken in with ease on the curve. That's comfortable in the front and at the rear too, and no body roll as such. Even the ride, the steering wheel is very precise, so even if you turn into a corner, and it just sticks, and that's also because of the 18-inch wheels. They just have so much grip, and that gives you the confidence. But there is a downside to that, because 18-inch wheels means they are bigger tires, and There's a lot of tire noise that creeps into the cabin.
And then there is the gearbox.
Now with the Hyperion, you get the options of a 6-speed manual and an automatic. But we got the manual transmission. The throws are slightly longer than expected, especially in this car. And the clutch is extremely smooth in operation. So it won't take a toll on your left leg. It's great. I thought the travel was a bit longer earlier, but once you start using it, I don't think it's longer at all. It's actually pretty nice. And the operation is, as I said, very smooth. The only problem with this gearbox is that, like say in a Maruti where the gearbox slots in properly, here there is that slight hesitation because there is a jerk that you feel every time you shift. And that's why, that feeling of the gear getting into the slot, that's the part that's lost out on.
Now there is a diesel too.
Now Tata Motors is the only manufacturer in that entire segment providing customers with petrol, diesel and electric powertrains. So it does have an upper hand and it's giving customers the choice to basically choose between anything that they want. And that's the kind of power that the company has. But this one is based on an all-new platform. Company calls it Atlas. Now, it is capable of different powertrains, but the Curvv EV was not based on the Atlas platform, but the ICE versions are, and it gives Tata Motors a lot more flexibility to bring out different sizes of vehicles and different body styles as well. Now this is the diesel that we are driving. It's a 1.5 litre Kryojet engine. It's good enough as far as power is concerned. 116 brake horsepower on offer, 250 Newton meters of torque on offer. Now that 250 Newton meters is available from as low as 1500 RPM. And it continues to give you that much amount of power till about 3000 RPM, which is great because then you don't have any lag. But in the initial acceleration, that's where the lag is, and you don't enjoy it because till 1500 RPM, it's basically dull, and it just tries to pick up as much as it can. And though the gearbox tries to feed it all that power, it just cannot. So yes, initial acceleration is a bit of an issue, and overall NVH, we asked Tata Motors, yes, that it's worked on the NVH levels on the diesel, because on the Nexon the noise was pretty prominent. In this one though, it's not. It has worked on the NVH levels of the car, but still you can hear the engine creep into the cabin. Let me give you a demo. Yeah, if you heard that, that's the diesel engine creeping into the cabin. It's not bad. I'm nitpicking here. But yes, it's a problem.
But there's one more thing that's a redeeming factor, and that's the 7-speed dual clutch transmission.
I really want to talk about the 7-speed dual clutch transmission now, because that's one gearbox which Tata Motors is trying to bring affordability quotient of things, because it's provided it in all three powertrains, the Revotron, the Kryojet, and even the Hyperion, which is great. 7-speed dual clutch transmission getting in the affordable bracket is a good sign. and it works well in the Kryojet as well. I mean, the inputs are quick, even in the flappy paddle gearbox. If I downshift, it's immediate. It's not a late reaction, so to say, and it keeps providing power to the wheels. And that's what you need in a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. There's also efficiency as well in this. In this Kryojet engine, you get the dual clutch transmission from the one variant above the base, that is the Pure Plus, and it goes all the way up to the Accomplished Plus A. There are many variants within that you get. So it begins from 14 lakh rupees going all the way up to 19 lakh rupees. That is a huge margin, and that's why it makes it a better proposition.
Now, the ICE versions of the Curvv are based on the new Atlas platform. This platform will underpin vehicles between 3,900mm to 4,600mm in length, with varying wheelbase and width. Yes, the upcoming Sierra EV will be based on this very platform, and so will the next gen Nexon. On the features front, nothing much has changed as compared to the EV version. The cabin looks the same and has the same touchscreen system. Have you checked out our in-depth tech review on it yet? Well, if not, there's a link in the description below. There's ADAS as well on the top variant, and the color palette on the inside depends on the variant you choose. I really fell in love with this burgundy cabin because it brings out a different side, a regal side to the car. The Curvv Petrol and Diesel is available in 8 variants, and the base is not the bare bones version. And while the petrol begins from 10 lakh to 18 lakh rupees, the diesel begins from 11 lakh 50,000 rupees going all the way up to 19 lakh rupees. So the spectrum is massive. Tata has managed to undercut everyone at the base petrol variant except the Citroën Basalt, which begins at 8 lakh rupees. In fact, it's managed to undercut all competition with the diesel too. Curvv certainly will make customers rethink about the compact SUV space, but had the petrol been a more wholesome experience and more space on offer at the rear, things would have been better. The diesel is the winner, but with norms about to change, will this engine make it to the next cycle? We are not too sure. The Curvv makes an impression, and it's a curveball from Tata for the rest of the gang of the Indian automotive industry.